When we think about AI, we usually picture this single super smart brain, right? But what if the future isn't about building a smarter brain, but about building a smarter team? That's what we're diving into today, a whole new way for AI to build software together.
And it's a really good question. For the longest time, we've been building AI coders to be these lone geniuses, right? We expect them to solve these huge, complex problems all by themselves. But what if that whole solo act? What if it's been a bug all along and not a feature?
So let's look at how things usually work right now. Most of these AI coding systems, they're a one AI show. It's a single agent, one AI mind, trying to handle the entire software development process from start to finish. It's this monolithic approach where one AI is expected to do literally everything. And when you put it side by side with how humans do it, the difference is just, wow. Think about a human software team. It's all about specialized roles, right? You got a manager keeping things on track, a researcher digging into the problem, a coder actually building the thing, and a reviewer making sure it's high quality. And yet, for some reason, we've been telling a single AI agent, hey, you do all of that at the same time. And that right there is the core issue. This one lone AI has to wear all the hats. It's got to be the analyst, the explorer, the coder, and the quality checker. And as the research makes pretty clear, when you pile that many different jobs onto one entity, well, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit a wall. There's a limit to how good it can get. Okay, so if the lone wolf AI has its limits, what's the alternative? Well, maybe we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can just look at the most successful software engineering teams out there, which happen to be us, humans. Let's break down that human blueprint for success.
And this is exactly why human teams work so well. It's all about having specific jobs, role specialization, it's about clear, structured communication, and it's absolutely about those critical feedback loops, like peer reviews on GitHub that catch mistakes before they become big problems. Success isn't about one genius doing everything. It's about a really well-organized system where people work together.
And that brings us to the breakthrough at the heart of this whole thing. It's a system called Agyn. And what's so cool about Agyn is that it doesn't try to build a single, all-knowing super AI. Nope. Instead, it builds an AI team, and it's modeled directly after that successful human structure we were just talking about. So let's meet the players on this AI dream team. First up, you've got the manager. Think of this AI as the project lead, the coordinator, keeping the whole process moving. Then there's the researcher, the code detective who dives deep into the problem to figure out what's really going on. Of course, you have the engineer, the focused builder who's just heads down, writing the code and implementing the fix. And last but not least, the reviewer. This is your quality gatekeeper, the one who gives the final thumbs up. See? Each agent has one specific job and they're built to do it really, really well. And here's where it gets really clever. The Agyn team had this brilliant insight. Not every job needs the same kind of AI. So for the roles that require a lot of high-level reasoning, like the manager and the researcher, they use these big, powerful general-purpose models. But for the engineer, whose job is just to code, they use a smaller, more specialized, and way more efficient model. It's all about using the right tool for the right job. So simple, but so smart. Okay, so the concept sounds amazing, right? But here's the million-dollar question. Does this whole collaborative thing actually work better? What do the numbers say? Let's put this team to the test. So to really see what this team could do, the researchers threw it into the gauntlet. They used a benchmark called SWE-bench. And let me tell you, this is not your average coding quiz. SWE-bench is notoriously tough. It pulls real, gnarly, messy bugs from huge, popular GitHub projects and tells the AI, okay, fix this. From start to finish. It's about as close as you can get to a real-world software engineering job. So, how'd the dream team do? Well, they successfully fixed, get this, 72.2% of these super complex real-world problems. For a benchmark as tough as SWE-bench, that number is, honestly, it's just incredible. And to really put that number into perspective, let's look at a powerful single-agent system, that lone wolf coder we talked about, using a similar AI model. It managed to fix 65% of the problems. So that jump to 72.2, that's not just a tiny little bump. That's a huge deal. It's clear proof that for AIs, just like for us, teamwork really, really works. But look, this is about way more than just getting a better score on a test. This is hinting at a much, much bigger shift in how we should be thinking about the future of AI itself.
Yeah, there's this one quote from the research paper that just nails it. It says, future progress may depend as much on organizational design as on model improvements. Think about that. For so long, we've just assumed that better AI means bigger, more powerful models. But what this is telling us is that that's only half the picture.
So if there's one thing you take away from all this, it's this. The organization is just as important as the algorithm. The structure, the workflow, how we set up these AIs to work together, that stuff is just as critical as the raw power of the individual models. It's a total paradigm shift. We're moving from building better brains to building better teams. And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought to chew on. The question isn't really if AI can code anymore. We're past that. The real question, the next great frontier, is how are we going to teach them to work together? How do we build entire teams of AIs that can collaborate to build whatever comes next?